Hey boys and girls, on my way to get my first oil change and tune up, valve adjustment, whatever they gotta do. We're gonna go and talk with them and ask them for an in-depth of exactly what they're gonna do, so this way I can kind of pass the information on to you guys, because they're kind of vague on what they gotta do. And so I think there's a checklist of stuff I think they go through, so it is pretty in depth. I think a lot of, from what I read, everybody says you really want to have them do the first one. And they called me and basically said that the oil filter is in and we're good to go. Alright everybody, welcome back. So I got my first oil change and basically valve adjustment job done, and I think some people are like, hey, what exactly gets done? So some people know, some people don't, but so let me go over what they did here, okay? So they changed the oil and filter, they changed the gearbox oil, they changed the final drive oil, they tightened head screws, valve clearance adjustment, inspection on the transmission cables and controls, inspection on the steering bearings and steering clearance, inspected the brake discs, inspected the brake pad wear clean if needed, inspected the forks. Basically all it is inspection, so everything's, the rest of it is an inspection. So inspected the brakes, inspected the light circuits, inspected the safety switches, and brake fluid, tire pressure wear. I wish I would have done that before they sold me the bike, because my brake pressure tires were at 22 pounds. Inspected the wheels, inspected and tightened bolts and nuts, which everything's fine because I checked all the things, so they just inspected it, they didn't tighten anything. And tightened the battery terminals, inspected cylinder, what is it? Yeah, that word right there. And then inspected suspension and settings. So this total bill was $307. I think that was the total job, with taxes and everything included. So $307.78. Basically, the oil filter was $15.20, and the oil was $33.90. So that's really kind of what cost me $307. Now I did have them adjust my shocks a little stiffer, and so basically what it was is I went over and told them my concerns. I told them my concerns over the little gurgle in the brake cylinder, and when the bike starts up, when it goes up, sometimes it feels like it pops up. They said they think it's just basically the boot, but whatever, it's a quirky bike, so that's what we're doing here. So I will say, after I changed they tightened up the suspension a little bit, it rides real different. It sounds completely different, like it doesn't sound like my bike anymore. It's really weird. It's like riding a whole new bike. It's really kind of weird. So if you're getting ready for your first thing, just kind of expect it. But some of mine is because I asked them to tighten up the rear shock here. So, but I will say the motor will sound different. You're going to start it up and hear it, sound a lot alike. But when you ride it, it's just a different sound. So just kind of prepare for that. But everything they said looked really good. You can hear, like I said, you can hear the difference in it when they adjusted it. I think it took them, I dropped off at 9:30. They called me at like 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and said, hey, come get it, it's all done. And that was it. It was pretty easy. They did answer a lot of questions, but they didn't know a lot of questions. Like, I want to ask them about my final drive. The new bike has a longer final or a longer first and second gear, they said that would probably cost me thousands of dollars if I wanted to change it, so I probably won't. But so this whole thing, so that I'll get into with another video there about the differences between the old bike and the new V7. All right. So again, really what you're paying for your first thing is for your valve and your oil change is going to cost you around $300 and $320 depending on your taxes. So it's a big pill to swallow. So I would recommend finding out. Oh, I will find out basically if every oil change you need to do a valve job, valve adjustment. I'm not quite sure yet, or if it's just something you can do. But at that prices, I'm going to learn how to do my own valve adjustment. The oil change I'm not worried about. That's pretty easy. It's just taking this off and that's kind of why I wanted to have them done, especially the first time. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Leave them down below, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.